हे देवी अति महिमयुते श्री शाम्भवी सदा रौद्रवदन युत मूर्ते स्वीकुरु मां तव निस्सीम करुणा कटाक्षे.
If you transform mud into food, we call this agriculture. If you make food into flesh and bone, we call this digestion, integration. If you can make this flesh, or even a stone, or even an empty space, into a divine possibility, that is called consecration. If you want to know this dimension, you need devotion in your heart. One who earns the grace of Bhairavi neither have to live in concern or fear of life or death, of poverty or failure. All that human being considers as well-being will be his if only he earns the grace of Bhairavi.
Saying the word Linga Bhairavi gives you a small tremor in the body.
It's just incredible energy here, you know?
When I entered the temple, the whole place was vibrating with energy.
She's there to protect, she's there to guide, she's there for everything for me in my life.
मुधिर्वे भैरवी एण्णतिरिक्क मेरिये भैरवी मुन्बु निற்கின்ற தொழிலே भैरवी मुक्ति நிலையின் முடிவே भैरवी शोभக் கிடக்கும் துணிவே भैरवी ஷோலில் விளங்கும் சுடரே भैरवी शोभக் கிடக்கும் துணிவே भैरवी ஷோலில் விளங்கும் சுடரே भैरवी தின்பழம் தன்னில் சுவையே भैरवी தெய்வத்தை எண்ண நினைவே भैरवी शावरे भूमि मலை மீசை வாழும் சங்கரன் அன்பு தடலே भैरवी देवी अति महिमा युते भैरवी सदा रौद्र कटाक्षे। हे देवी अति महिमयुते श्री शाम्भवी सदा रौद्रवदन युत मूर्ते स्वीकुरु मां तव निस्सीम करुणा कटाक्षे। हे देवी अति महिमयुते महाशक्ति सदा रौद्रवदन युत मूर्ते स्वीकुरु मां तव निस्सीम करुणा कटाक्षे। महादेवी महेश्वरी रौद्रिणी दया सागरी महादेवी महेश्वरी रौद्रिणी दया सागरी विनयं तव पावन महाशक्तिरूपे नवनीतं समर्पणम् हरिद्रं समर्पणम् चन्दनं समर्पणम् कुङ्कुमं समर्पणम् वस्त्रं समर्पणम् पत्रं समर्पणम् पुष्पं समर्पणम् दीपं समर्पणम् नैवेद्यं समर्पणम् ताम्बूलं समर्पणम् महाशक्तिरूपे श्रीफलं समर्पणम् व्यतिकरितलीला जनतया विभक्तत्रैवर्यं व्यतिकरितलीला जनतया विभाति त्वन्नेत्रहृदयमिदमीशान हरिते पुनस्रष्टुं देवान् द्रुहिण हरिरुद्रान् वरदान् राजास्तत्त्वं विद्यान् नम इति गुणानां त्रयमिव।
One who earns the grace of Bhairavi neither have to live in concern or fear of life or death, of poverty or failure. All that human being considers as well-being will be his if only he earns the grace of Bhairavi. It is out of such grace that a devotee lives unconcerned about his own well-being. I live a life which is completely unguarded. Just about anybody can deceive me. It's very easy. Not because I lack the intelligence to guard myself, simply because what I have can neither be stolen nor can anybody take it by stealth. If they could take it, I would be very glad. It is just that it is not difficult to deceive me at all, it's very easy. But you cannot deceive me and ever think of living well, that's not going to happen. Not because this is a threat or a curse, because this is the way of life. You cannot spit at the sky and hope you will not receive the shower of your own spittle. You cannot escape that. So these 3 days, all of you being here, not just being here, so many of you absolutely overflowing with devotion and ecstasy. Her grace is definitely upon you. Yesterday I did say something about this, but there are so many people, I will not go by name. There are so many people who in the last 5–6 months have neither ate properly, slept properly, done anything properly in their life. I have seen many of the boys, when I come here at morning 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because they've been working through the night and they have not brushed their teeth, they have not had their showers, they're just on the site day and night. So many of them, some of them are here and many of them who are not here. Many of the residents, brahmacharis, even the workers just forgot that they're here. Even the labor who came here just forgot that they came here to earn a living. May the Devi's grace be upon all of them. And as I said yesterday, today's Thaipusam, it's a very, very auspicious full moon. This Paurnami is the first Paurnami after the sun shifts to the northern run. The sun's run shifts to the northern hemisphere. You have heard from Mahabharata that Bhishma, who slept on a bed of arrows, who was injured in the battle beyond, mutilated. In such a state of mutilation, he still held on to his life because he wanted to die after the sun shifts to the northern run. Uttarayana it is called. So this Paurnami, which is the first Paurnami after the beginning of Uttarayana, is considered very auspicious, not just out of belief, there is a certain planetary influence upon the system. Anything that happens to the planet, a human being cannot escape that. I'm not talking in environmental terms, because what you call as myself is just a piece of this planet and a more sensitive part of the planet than what is there, a far more receptive part of the planet than what is there as Earth. So whatever happens to the planet will happen 1,000-fold more within the human system. It is just that it takes some sensitivity to see it. It takes some sensitivity To experience it, it takes some sensitivity and receptivity to be able to make use of it. Unconscious ways, many people are making use of it, not knowing what they're doing. Unconsciously on certain days they behave in a certain way. Every human being, for sure, it doesn't matter what level of competence he has reached in his life, either a great athlete or a sports person or an artist or a musician or a politician or an intellectual, whatever you may be, you will see, for some unknown reason, you seem to function better on certain days and certain times. And for some unknown reason, you don't seem to do the same things as well on another day. If you're a golfer, you would know that very well. This is not just about you. The whole dynamics of the planet and the system is working upon you. There is a way to get into rhythm with that system and function. That is the way of the Devi. To be in rhythm with that system and function and reap the benefit of that. There is a way to transcend that and not be influenced by that. That is the way of his. His way is, he is not in rhythm with anything, he is beyond. But she is in rhythm with it. So these are two aspects of life. Those who are in this will live well in one sense. Those who are in that, they are not worried about living well, they have no such concern about living well. So accordingly the temple, that temple is cared for by the brahmacharis, they are not concerned about well-being. Their only concern is to go beyond. This is taken care of by the women, probably the only temple in the world where it is for the woman, by the woman, but for everybody. As every woman has her own secret, she has her own secrets which you will never know. She's been created in a certain way, she will be maintained in a certain way, which is very unique. And it is a certain process only feminine can do. At no point in future can a man take over this temple and do the needed things, because it has to be a woman to do it, that's how it is structured. So, this new tradition that we are opening up, Arisha, of Bhairagini Mass has just started. You have seen one of our wonderful Bhairaginis, many more are in the making. Because men are good laborers, we use them to construct the temple. From today they are moving out and the whole administration, management, the ritual, everything is by the woman. You know, it's been a… there is a whole history, in human history, there is a whole range of this kind of thing in every culture. Beasts have been used for labor, hard labor. I'm just being nice to you, don't. So, so this day, the Thaipusam, particularly in the Tamil tradition, there have been any number of wonderful siddhas and seers and yogis who chose this day to leave their body to attain to their ultimate nature. Not today, but hopefully for you also, it will so happen that Thaipusam will be the day you exit, because you cannot exit accidentally on that day. You have to live consciously. So let that be your fortune too. As I said, it's 13 years now since Vijay attained Mahasamadhi. So, somebody who was very dear to us left us 13 years ago. And since then, this 13 years, so many people here, men, women, children, they have given their lives in so many ways to make Isha 13 years ago what was a remote organization into an international presence. And in how many ways people here, people who are living here, people who are outside as volunteers, meditators, well-wishers, all of them. It is my wish that the grace of Bhairavi should be upon them for all that they have done to make this happen. And with her grace, for all of you who are here in these last few days, much well-being will come upon you. Well-being is like the food that you eat. You can't just eat and sit. If you eat and sit, good food will make you sick. More good food you eat and sit, the more sick you get. So if you eat good food, you have to be more active than others who are not eating so well. So if you receive the grace of the Devi, you must be more active in sharing it with the world around you than anybody else. That is a sure way of a continuous flow. Otherwise, you'll get sick with grace. So, may your life become a possibility to contribute, reach and touch people's lives in as many ways as possible. Don't be a cum juice. Be juice. Don't be cum juice, juice. Let the juice of life touch you in every possible way. May your lives be rich, wonderful, ecstatic, and if that's your quality, let that be shared, because it only grows by sharing. There are many things that a human being can do. Many wonderful things that a human being can do. Though unfortunately, not every human being chooses to do wonderful things. Not yet, I have not given up on that. Of all the wonderful things that human beings can do, they can love, they can be joyful, they can share, they can live for each other, they can die for each other, they can serve each other, they can create many things of art, music, creativity, love, joy. The sweetest thing that a human being can do is to walk this planet with devotion. And it is the most intelligent thing to do and the most productive thing to do, in the sense, no human being has ever produced anything worthwhile in his life without being devoted to what he's doing. Nobody. Nothing of any consequence has ever come out of a human being without being devoted to what he's doing. Whether it is sport or art or music or dance or work or whatever, nobody can ever hope to produce anything of any consequence without being absolutely devoted to what he's doing. And nobody knows the fulfillment that a devotee has, not in the results that he gets, but just in the joy of doing it because he's devoted to what he's doing. You can do action and become something, that is one way. Most activity in the world is performed this way. People are doing something because they want to become something or somebody in the world. The way of the devotee is, he's doing action because he wants to become nothing. And if there is anything that you can call the ultimate sweetness, that's devotion that a human being can experience within himself. So the last 3 days, what we have witnessed here, there are any number of things, but above all, the devotion with which you have participated and been here is… I'm jammed from two sides. One is the power of the Devi, it's just blasting me out. If I look this way, I cry, if I look this way, I cry now. If you see me on the street, I definitely don't look like a crying man, okay? So, to know life in its full range, not just being a man, not just being a woman, to be able to be a man, to be able to be a woman, to be able to be a child, to be able to be a demon if need be, and to be able to be divine. This is the possibility that human consciousness has come with. This is the possibility that every human being should know. What you do, what you do not do is only… it's only a consequence of the situations in which we exist. If we had come here 1,000 years ago, we would be doing different kind of activity. Today we are here, we are doing certain things and think this is it. If you come here 100 years later, your action would be irrelevant and you would be doing something else and think that's it. So action, whatever we are doing in our life in terms of activity, it is only a consequence of the times in which we are born. That's of no great consequence for your consciousness. The important thing is, your consciousness is fluid enough to be a child when it is necessary, to be a real man when it is necessary, to be an absolute woman when it is necessary, to be a demon when it need be, and to be divine when that's what is needed. If this possibility, this flexibility, this freedom, this fluidity, if one does not earn in this life, if you are constipated in your consciousness, constipation is bad, you know, wherever it happens. It happens in your digestive tract, it's bad enough. If it happens in your head, very bad. Happens in your heart, you will never know life. If it happens in your energies, you will live mundane like any other beast. I want you to know, every beast, every animal, every small creature knows the joy of eating, knows the joy of breathing, knows the joy of breeding, knows the joy of their children growing. Yes or no? All of them know this. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's a limited possibility. Is it wrong to be limited? No. It's just that you come with the wrong body, that's all. It's not wrong to be limited, it's just that you came with the wrong body. The problem is of birth, not of life. You're choosing to live like an insect. What's wrong with an insect? Insect is perfectly fine. But you came with the wrong body, that's the only problem. The problem is you fell into the wrong womb. The consciousness, if it has to become fluid, devotion is the simplest way. A devotee can dance, a devotee can sing. You must see the way of the devotees. Right now there's a kumbh going on, Kumbh Mela. I know many aspects of it can be criticized, the toilets are not good and this is not okay, that's not okay, million things can be said, people go and give swine flu to each other and they must be the pigs and whatever. But there's another aspect to it. You will see an incredible, unbelievable sense of devotion. You won't believe it. It is such an incredible, massive volume of devotion. I think more than 50-60 lakh people are right now taking a dip in Ganga. It's… if you have any heart, it'll melt. If you have it, for sure you'll lose it there because it's just incredible. It looks crazy, but incredible, but devotion has always been crazy. If you just fall in love with a woman that you may fall out of within a month's time, already you get a little wonky, isn't it, within that month? Don't you? So when that's the thing, when something a million times more powerful has happened to you, you do get crazy and it's perfectly fine. So this land nurtured this sense of devotion in people, which unfortunately has just become a meaningless ritual for a lot of people. It's time we bring back the spirit of that. If only people on the street truly walked with devotion, just see what a sweet world you would have. Absolutely sweet world. It is happening in the ashram, but it is too small a space. I'm not happy with this. We are seeing how to make this into a major movement. We are engineering a moment that in the next few years, we want to build this up in such a way that every heart will beat with some sense of devotion. We are right now aiming at Tamil Nadu. There should be no human being in Tamil Nadu who does not have at least some kind of a simple spiritual process. I've always had this desire, but in the last couple of years, it's become so strong in me because I saw a few of my uncles and aunts dying. They lived well by any normal standards. They got married the way they should be, horoscopes matched and everything worked out. Of course, they fought 3 times a day, but they loved each other, at least in the early mornings. And went on, children came, children got educated, they studied what they're supposed to study, they found the kind of jobs they're supposed to find, or they started the kind of businesses they were expected to, and they got married and son went to America, daughter got married into a good family, they have their children, they played with their grandchildren, everything happened. They're into their 70s and some of them into 80s and one by one dying. And they die such a desolate death, such a horrible, desolate death they die. Everything that they wished in their life has happened. But still, it's so barren when that moment comes. They die so badly. If you die badly, you might have managed to deceive the whole world with a facade of happiness, but somewhere inside, every moment of your life you've been empty, every moment of your life you've suffered, not knowing what to do with yourself. And when the moment of death comes, family collapses, business collapses, all your social stature collapses, and you die a miserable death. Miserable death does not happen just like that. You have earned it through your life. You lived a miserable life. Maybe the world thought you lived wonderfully, but you have lived a miserable life, no question about that. When I saw this, I saw the only thing that's missing is they don't even have a simple spiritual process in their life. We're teaching Isha Yoga. 7 days, you must come every day. If you come 1 minute late, you're pshh. It's good, it's built. Today, 5,000 people are sitting here like 5 people are sitting here. No police pushing them and managing them, nobody beating them down, nobody yelling at them. That's because of Isha Yoga. These little young boys and girls who went out, initially they looked at them like this and they slowly disciplined them. They even taught them where to park the chappals. Slowly now they become. This is not how any crowd is in this country. Whether you go to a temple or a political meeting or a private party, this is not how any damn crowd behaves in this nation. So, Isha Yoga has done that, but somewhere when I saw these people dying the way they died, I thought this one thing must happen. Every human being should have at least one simplest possible spiritual process in his life. If he had that, he would die well, he would live well every day. If he knew how to simply bring this forth within himself on a daily basis, he would live differently within himself. It doesn't matter what the hell is happening with your job, your profession, your family, nonsense. Those things need to be managed according to individual skill, but how one lives within himself, what is his experience of life, we could raise it to a different level, where it is very simple, where anybody who comes here gets initiated in half an hour's time. No 7 days, coming on time, any time he comes, day or night, he gets initiated in half an hour's time. But he has something simple to hang on to in his life, that he will… within himself, he will live well and die well, which is very, very important. A very simple process that can be done, all it takes is devotion. If you have to teach awareness, if you have to teach meditation, if you have to teach knowledge, it will take time. It can be never taught without the necessary atmosphere, it can be never taught without a proper teacher, but devotion doesn't need atmosphere, it creates the atmosphere. For everything else you need an atmosphere, for devotion you don't need atmosphere, wherever you are, you can be burning with devotion. So, it is not devotion related to your belief system, a devotion related to a religious format or organized religious process. Simply devotion. Expressing your devotion is not just breaking coconuts on each other's heads. To express your devotion, there will be many opportunities, and not as service. Service, in my way of feeling, it is an obscene thing. You feel you're doing service to somebody only when your heart is barren. When you're devoted to something, you will not call it service. It'll be a great opportunity if somebody gave you a chance to do something. A devotee does not discriminate. That is the essential quality of a devotee. A devotee is naturally all-inclusive. A devotee cannot be devoted to this and not devoted to that. That is the nature of a devotee. It is not necessary personally for me either to run this moment or that moment, but when I saw these people dying, I thought 90% of the humanity dies like this. They need a small spiritual process in their life. Without that, they are going to die like this. That means they are living like that. You can deceive when you're in life. When the moment of death comes, you're being exposed, that's all. That's not going to happen to you lot. But I want you to develop this desire, it should not happen to anybody. Thank you very much for being here. So evening walk, make sure all of you are there. That's going to be something. She's going to owe him, you must be there and be a part of that owing. Learn to owe, otherwise life won't yield.
Spirituality and music in our country were inseparable, and the course of time and because of many factors, we are sort of losing out that tradition. And I'm very thankful to Sadhguruji that he is bringing that thing back in our culture. And culture cannot survive without spirituality. This is a great effort and bringing musicians from all over the country, expressing different genres of music and connecting with the spirituality.
Doesn't come, very often to perform in such an environment that is infused with a sense of spirituality and sense of beauty, a sense of life.
And I like to come again and again and again and again and again and again and again till I alive, till I survive.
We went to the new temple, Linga Bhairavi temple, and the vibrations, the whole atmosphere was so charged up. The energy was, amazing. And, for our music, Indian classical music, there are certain requirements which are very, very important to perform this music. And because this music is connected with the spiritual aspect of life, and I was totally getting that atmosphere there. And that was a big inspiration for me.
इतने लोग यहाँ पहुँच गए हैं, लेकिन किसी का कुछ आवाज़ नहीं है, किसी को यहाँ कुछ अशांति नहीं है, पूरी शांति है। और हर एक आदमी इतना दिल से, मन से यहाँ सेवा भाव से काम कर रहे हैं कि ऐसा लग रहा था कि ऐसे ही गाते गाते हम समाप्त हो जाए तो भी बहुत खुशी है।
I felt really, I was in a trance kind of feeling, even when I sang there. So it was a great experience for me. Well, this kind of festival I have not seen in India.
thini thina, takta thini thina, deita thini thina, kata.
Chempa, ta kartaka chum, kartaka chum, ta kartaka chum, kartaka chum chum, kartaka chum, kartaka chum chum, kartaka de, kartaka de, kartaka de, kartaka de. Sari sari sani sama gama gare sari sari sani gama gama dani sam sani sam.
Everything became magical, including the performance. Not just a performance, it was an offering.
Today I will describe it as the perfect atmosphere for a musician to perform his best. The intricate nuances of Indian classical music really came out from myself.
I found something, old tradition came to me, which is so touching.
For me, it was just like playing for the Devi, because that's the connection you try and build all the time through your music.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
I want to experience this joy. I think this is going to keep me going for a very long time, the strength that I've gained from this experience today.
And today was truly a divine experience as we all performed for God.
The sound that came here, the feeling that we got here was something that was alive.
Shankari vandal shamalai vandal engal ullam kulira. Shankari vandal shamalai vandal engal ullam kulira. Yogattalamallava idu dhyanathalamallava. Yogattalamallava idu dhyanathalamallava. Mogattiruva engal Bhairavi vandamarnal.
I felt very emotionally churned today. No one existed in front of me. There was only the Bhairavi behind me and Sadhguru in front of me. But I'd give anything to redo this concert.
Must have been many fabulous events that have happened before we were born. One of them, we surely believe, was the scene that happened on the Yamuna banks. We were not there. Maybe he was there. So in many ways, in so many ways, we try to recreate that. But today, Har Prasad ji has poured it through our ears. At least the sound part of it, we are not missing it for sure. These 13 days, starting with Aditi's scintillating performance. These 13 evenings have been a garland of truly fabulous performances. A garland I feel fully satisfied, a garland that I'm really proud of offering to Devi. We couldn't have offered a better garland to her. In the very first year, the inception year of Yaksha, we have touched such great heights in these 13 days, every artist who's been here. And it's going to be a challenge next year.
You are my perfect mirror, you show me what I'm not. In the endless pit of what once was me, layer and layer you peel off me. The pain it is, but the joy it brings. So thank you for showing me what I'm not, for showing me what I could be.